Good morning, CoreTV News on the hour. I am Tolu Ojewumi. President Jonathan has hinted on a comeback while presenting the People's Democratic Party candidate to the people of Ekiti State. Jonathan says he wants to come back and commission state and federal projects under the government of the party's candidate, Ayodele Fayose, in the next 2 years.
I was in Ekiti State last when we came for the flag off of engineering. And since then, I have not come back to the state to formation project. I want to come back, the vice president want to come back, senate president want to come back, and most especially our party chairman want to come back to commission projects that are meaningful. We want to come back in 2 years' time to commission both state and federal government projects in this state. We want to work with
Meanwhile, President Goodluck Jonathan has promised a free and fair election in the forthcoming Ekiti governorship election. He made a statement when he led leaders of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to present the party's flag to its candidate Ayodele Fayose. Rashid was there and fired in this report.
The Oluyemi Kayode Stadium was filled to the brim by party members from Ekiti and neighboring states who gathered to witness the presentation of the party flag to Fayose. The Vice Chairman, PDP Southwest, and Chairman of the PDP Governors Forum say Ekiti election marks the beginning of reclaiming the Southwest from the All Progressives Congress.
Our candidate, Dr.
The national chairman of the PDP, Adamu Muazu, and the Senate President, David Mark, while presenting the flag to Ayodele Fayose, promised to put smile on the faces of Ekiti people, a statement which the party's governorship candidate reiterated.
I assure you that by the grace of the Almighty God, this is the beginning of the great beginning. And we are presenting to you a new, improved Ayodele Fayose as your governor. The Son and the Holy Spirit, and then the Son of God that I will look after you. In the name of this party, the PDP, I am in the name of the party.
President Goodluck Jonathan, in his goodwill message, promised a free, fair, and credible election devoid of thuggery, rigging, and violence.
That will provide security. Don't be afraid that there will be there will be no thuggery. We'll make sure that everybody casts his vote. One man, one vote. One woman, one vote. One youth, one vote. Anybody who brings stocks to Ekiti State is bringing that to a young detriment.
With the mammoth crowd recorded here today and the endorsement of Governor Ayodele Fayose by President Goodluck Jonathan, it can be said like Ayodele Fayose and every other candidate jostling for Okebareke office of the governor are fully ready to jostle for the seat, but the outright result of this mammoth crowd will be who will be announced as the governor-elect of Ekiti State. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
In spite of assurances from the military authorities, soldiers have continued to seal off the major newspaper distribution depots in Abuja. The operatives were said to have stormed the popular Area 1 where newspapers are distributed to agents and vendors across the Nigerian capital as early as 7 a.m. Witnesses who spoke off camera say soldiers came in trucks and prevented the agents from distributing newspapers for circulation. The situation has reduced the number of papers on the streets of Abuja, but many of the outlets devised other means of getting their publications out. The federal government has continued its clampdown on the media by stopping circulation of newspapers in some parts of the country. Osun State correspondent Bidokor takes a look at the development in the state.
Following the reported seizure of some newspapers by the military, newspaper sales and distribution has been affected in Osogbo. Only a few vendor stands are open for business. There seems to be a growing fear of possible harassment by military personnel. Media affairs analyst Jamiu Olawumi and Adelani Baderinwa both criticized the clampdown, saying it is undemocratic.
It's a total negation of what democracy is all about. Because first and foremost, I think if there is an erring situation on the part of a newspaper, there are procedures, processes, the courts are there, and so many other things that could have been done, not outright seizure of newspapers right on the streets.
Take it beyond deprivation. Take it to the level of the expectation of modern army or military in a country that faces these security challenges. That you could not scan to look for arms, but send soldiers on the street to look for it in the newspapers. And you still call yourself giant of Africa. You still claim to fund the military. Then what pattern of funding? What are the priorities when we fund? What is competition, peer review between Nigerian military and other military organizations across the globe?
The publisher of Osun Defender, Kola Olabisi, condemned the act, saying it is a hindrance of the rights of Nigerians to have information.
The precipice.
Uncalled for, it's uncalled for when we are in a democracy. Even during the period that the late General Sani Abacha was calling that shot, we experienced this, the same thing when Ibrahim Babangida, President Ibrahim, the military president Ibrahim Babangida, when he was calling that shot, the same thing was experienced. Now that we say there is a democracy, I see no reason why some people who cannot have their way, cannot be allowed to have their say.
Olabisi advised the federal government to take a more cautious approach. On visiting some newspaper stands in Osogbo, the newspaper vendors seem to be uneasy. Beat Okoro, CoreTV News, Osogbo.
The Nigerian Union of Journalists has expressed concern over the seizure of copies of the publications of 4 national dailies, The Nation, Guardian, Daily Trust and Leadership newspapers by security agents. President of NUJ, Mohammed Garba, stated the union's position in Abuja. He says that the media is an important stakeholder in the ongoing campaign against insurgency in part of the country and wondered why it would come under attack from security personnel. Garba condemned the seizure of the newspaper's publications, saying it is not the best way to handle it if there were any issues. He added that the situation in the country requires all segments of the society to join forces against the insurgents rather than the stronger intimidation going against the weaker elements in the society. He says that the media should be allowed to discharge its responsibility to the society without intimidation from any quarters, adding that the media remained committed to the unity, stability and progress of the country. The NUJ leader appealed to the military to evolve better ways of arresting threatened reports or pieces of information other than confiscating the entire publications of media organizations. In the meantime, the recent seizure of major newspapers by the military in Nigeria has come under heavy fire as public analysts and civil liberty organizations continue to condemn the action. Speaking during his visit to our station in Lagos, Tuja Abayomi says confiscation of newspapers in any country will constitute a threat to security.
It poses a great threat to national security. And that's the concern of a lot of people. Because if you see how Boko Haram is operating, it renders the military powerless and ineffective. And people keep asking the question, how is it possible? I mean, Boko Haram will be on a location for 4 hours, and they appear to be more effective in terms of information gathering, intelligence, than our military. So if the military is reacting to legitimate and reasonable criticism through the media, then it's an unserious military, in my view.
A delegate at the ongoing national conference also condemns the seizure
of military dictatorship. Our heart grieves, but the reason the security operatives is given would be good if it is better amplified, because one does not see the rationale behind it. Is reckless, is not in tune with democratic decorum, is not in line with what we fought for as a country that guarantees free press, that guarantees freedom of movement as enshrined in our constitution. The security operatives must remain civil, and those materials that are seized that has resulted in colossal loss of our resources. I think the security operatives have more explanation to give us, and there is the need for them to pay for the price, the loss that those medium have accrued, and also apologize to those people that have been unnecessarily harassed and intimidated.
The Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Umar Manko, has urged the media to be cautious in its reportage of national security issues to avoid more crises. Manko gave the advice in his investiture as Chief Patron of Crime Reporters Association of Nigeria in Lagos. He says the media had the capacity and responsibility to make the country peaceful. Represented by Damilola Adegboye, Deputy Commissioner of Police, State Criminal Investigation Department, CID, Manko added that the media should always portray the nation in good light. He, however, commended the association for its support to the police, particularly in the area of crime fighting and terrorism. The police and the press, according to Manko, always face similar risks in the course of their duties. Petro Poroshenko sworn in as new president in his country. Details after this time. Please stay with us.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching CoreTV News on the app. For more information on our news and other programs, please visit us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On YouTube, our handle is at CoreTV News NG. And on Twitter and on YouTube, www.coretv/news. And a quick visit outside Nigeria. Petro Poroshenko has been sworn in as Ukrainian president. He vowed to avert civil war and mend ties with Russia. He is the fifth Ukrainian post-Soviet president, with the nation facing disintegration and economic collapse. Poroshenko took the oath of office one day after holding his first meeting with Russian President Vladimir. The self-made billionaire vowed to give an amnesty to any insurgents who had no blood on their hands as a first step in a peace initiative designed to save the nation of 46 million, which saw its Crimea Peninsula annexed by Russia in March from splitting further along ethnic lines. Poroshenko also added that he would never accept Russia's seizure of Crimea or attempt to divert his pro-European course. The ceremony was attended by United States Vice President Joe Biden and European Civil President Herman Van Rompuy, along with more than 20 other dignitaries from countries that back Kiev's new westward drive. That's it. Thanks for watching. I am Tolu Ojewumi. Good morning. Join us again on Top of the Hour.